Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. I miss watching the original Ben 10 series. I'm loving Alien Force, don't get me wrong, but I miss watching it each week, that original show with those aliens and Ben and Gwen's back and forth and everything, and Grandpa Max is revealing more and more about the plumbers and everything. I just loved watching that iteration of the show. I'm loving Alien Force as well, but you get my point. So today, I've been talking about this for quite some time, maybe doing this at some point, but today I'm doing it. I'm ranking all of the original Ben 10 aliens in this tier list, of course, S being the best. And E, I guess, should say F, but regardless, someone that had already made this, I'm like, I'm going to use this, but E as F, basically the lowest. So we're going to go through here, and the list, as you kind of can tell here, is kind of all over the place. Like, there's no real, like, order in terms of the aliens or whatever. It's just kind of thrown in. So I'm going to start from the beginning and work all the way till the end, accelerate, which I think you guys can probably assume where I'm going to put him on this tier list. But I'm curious to know where you guys would rank some of these aliens, and maybe you should do a tier list of your own in the comments if you want to as well. But let me know your thoughts about where I place these aliens. I'm going to think about, just in general, the design of the aliens, the usefulness, and not so much how many times the aliens were used, but in terms of, where I think they should rank in terms of, compared to the others. Like, that's kind of what this is, obviously, in general, but you get my point. Like, I'm trying to think of multiple things, not just one aspect of the alien. I'm trying to think of multiple things. So we're starting off with the Mummy, Frankenstein, and Wolf, which were hardly ever used in the series. So, but for me personally, I think the Mummy is a B. I think he was really, really cool, like his design, and I wish he was used more. Like, I felt like once you introduce, especially these three, with the more horror aspect of it, I really feel like they should have used them more. The Frankenstein, I'm going to give it a C. I could lower it to D. Like, it's cool and all, but literally Ben, I think, only used him one time. But just thinking about, like, we just didn't get to see the full, I can't even talk today, the full potential of this alien that Ben could have transformed into. Now, the Wolf, I got to also give it a B. I like those two out of the three most, not because Ben actually used them a little more, but because I feel like they were really unique. And the Frankenstein one, it just felt like, okay, let's just have a Frankenstein alien as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Wolf I can kind of see as an alien, and the Mummy kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things to where I like the concept of it, and ultimately, of course, leading to Ghost Freak's return and everything. But I'm going to leave them there for now. I don't think, I'm planning on not changing the list as I'm going along, but yeah. Cannonbolt, I got to go with A. Automatically. Cannonbolt. I loved the introduction to Cannonbolt, and I've loved the appearance throughout the remaining of the show. And Cannonbolt was really useful when Ben used him, and the design is really interesting in terms of the color scheme, and especially like the fact that literally he could bounce off of anything, and just how fast Cannonbolt ended up actually being. Because I thought, because every time he fell on his back, he's like stuck, kind of like a turtle, essentially, when a turtle on its back. But in terms of the usability, the design, and what Ben was able to accomplish as Cannonbolt, like, I gotta give it A. I gotta give it A. Okay, classic. I gotta give it S tier. Phenomenal. Phenomenal alien. Love this one so much. Now, actually, let me double check something. Thankfully, I double checked, because I was about to say Diamondback. This is Diamond Head. See, Alien Force, Ben has fixed that problem with the creators of the show, but they have fixed the issue where Ben yells out, "Humongosaur," and stuff like that when he turns into aliens now. But back then, not the case. Diamond Head is a classic, and I love the fact that Ben used him quite often. I love his power, his abilities and stuff, shooting diamonds and all that, and just what he was able to accomplish with this alien. I really miss seeing this alien. I loved when he transformed into Diamond Head. It was really awesome. Okay, Ditto. Now, this is one that came in pretty late in the process, but this is a very, very interesting alien, and I gotta go A, because of the usefulness of the alien. The design isn't like amazing. It's a cool design though. Kind of reminds me, as I'm putting it next to Cannonbolt, kind of like a small version of Cannonbolt, not the same color scheme, but kind of a little smidge. But the fact that he could literally turn so, like, obviously we have a version of this, Echo in Alien Force, but literally he could turn into so many Dittos and run around. It was just so funny to see this unfold. And of course, Rob Paulson voices the character. It was so cool. And they said that they basically designed him as an homage one of the Warner Brothers. Is it Yakko or Wacko? I can't remember. Like it's hard to remember names in general. So, but yeah, I gotta give A. I'm gonna stick with A. I'm gonna stick with A. Next up, we have I Guy. Oh boy, I Guy. One that was hardly used in the show, but his powers are definitely unique, and especially seeing that alternate intro that was used as one of the potential intros for Secret of the Omnitrix, I'm gonna go with B. I wish we would have seen I Guy more. I really wish we would have seen him. And apparently that's not his actual name, but that was the name that I think Gwen even said I Guy at some point or something. But anyways, I'm going to give B because we saw enough. I wish we would have seen more of this alien, but it was really cool. It's a really weird design. I'm an anti-eye guy in the sense of that I can't stand when people get near my eye or try to touch my eye. I feel so uncomfortable. So I'm not anti-eye guy, the alien. I'm anti-eye guy. Don't get near my eyes. It's very uncomfortable. But regardless of that, cool concept. Very interesting design on the alien and the powers as well. Okay, forearms, S tier, no question. This is a classic once again. This is honestly one of the best aliens that Ben, and I think it's honestly, I'm not sure which alien is Ben's personal favorite out of the original here, but I think it might be forearms definitely has to be in the conversation if it's not his favorite, because Ben used him so much, and he's a powerhouse. He literally is, like, to me, when I think of Ben 10, the original series, besides thinking of Ben, Gwen, and Max in the classic series design, when I start thinking of Ben 10, forearms is one of the aliens and one of the things I remember fondly because of how many times Ben used him, the design of it. I mean, it's on the simpler side in terms of a giant red alien that has four arms. But in terms of the voice and just the way that Ben was able to use four arms and really relying on this alien, gotta give S tier. Ghost Freak. You know, this is an alien that is unique. It's the one alien that was able to escape from the Omnitrix. I gotta go with A. The design of Ghost Freak and the voice and just what... And even though Ghost Freak turned villain and everything, the fact that this alien was able to find a way to break out and somehow after dying, essentially, to come back, you got to give props to Ghost Freak. I wish Ben would have used him more before he broke out of the Omnitrix, but I felt like the way they were able to use the storyline with Ghost Freak, when he first gets out of the Omnitrix, of course, and returning, of course, with the Ben, with the mummy, the werewolf, and the Frankenstein monster, and all that. I wonder if they thought about doing a vampire one at that storyline. Anyways, a vampire alien. But regardless, Ghost Freak is definitely one of the cooler aliens that Ben used. So I gotta stick with A tier. Okay, for gray matter. You know, this is an alien. Of course, it's the species that is the creator of the Omnitrix, and so I don't think that specific piece of information should not make it higher or lower on the tier list. But I think in terms of what gray matter has accomplished on the show, I think we also have to go with A. S is possible, but I'm going to stick with A for right now. I may change this. I don't plan on changing them where I land them, at least for right now. But gray matter is such a unique alien, even though we have a version of gray matter in a sense in Alien Force. But gray matter, in terms of comparing all to the other aliens that Ben could turn into in the original series, gray matter, first of all, was the most unique one. And if you would have asked me to guess the alien that created the Secret of the Omnitrix, like what species, I would not have guessed gray matter. I should have, though, because of how smart gray matter is, but I just never would have thought that it was a species that is a gray matter that created the Omnitrix. I would never have guessed that. I should have, though. I should have. I probably would have eventually got there at some point. But gray matter is a very unique alien, was able to figure out a lot of things, and Ben used him to his full potential. We got to go S tier. I shouldn't have to say anything. I mean, come on. Classic. So, yeah, Heat Blast. I mean, what can I say? This alien has been at the forefront of Ben 10. If you're not thinking forearms, you're thinking a few others, but look, he's in the conversation. He has to be. And I think back on that short where Ben was told not to turn into an alien to start the fire. He, of course, turns in and uses his fire, but then he's used to make s'mores, to cook marshmallows, because he's still Heat Blast trying to make a fire, and Gwen and Max in that short are using his fire to roast some marshmallows. But classic. Nothing else to say. An underused alien. Ripjaw, right? I think that's the correct name. I gotta go B. You know, one of the few aliens that could really live underwater. And if you watch one of those shorts, I reacted to the shorts a couple weeks back at this point. But I reacted to those Ben 10 shorts, and one of them had Ben sleeping underwater, which means when Ben reverted back, he would have died underwater. But regardless, an underused alien, one of the ones that I think should have been used more. But then again, a lot of the times when we're in situations in Ben 10, it would not have made sense to use him because there's no water around. But I wish they would have found more ways to include him. I really wish he was used more, but he is very useful, especially when it came to water-specific episodes. Stinkfly, I mean, you got to give him A. I was thinking on this because as I was preparing for this video, I was trying to think of where I would place these aliens, and I was kind of getting an idea in my head, but ultimately I'm just kind of going off of my gut instinct in terms of what I think in terms of the multiple things I mentioned, but where do I really think they would place? And Stinkfly definitely is up there. I feel like Stinkfly was a unique and odd alien, and the first time he transformed into him was bizarre as hell, but Stinkfly was definitely one of those ones that stuck out, and he's gross and everything, but like it's to where there's multiple facets. He has a very disgusting and uncomfortable ability to stink everything up. His flying abilities and the voice, like Stinkfly, like just the voice, it really worked. Love Stinkfly. I'm more as I continue this video, I'm missing these aliens more and more. Upchuck, you know, we could say Upchuck is definitely up there. I'm gonna give Upchuck a B. I could say maybe A, but I'm gonna stick with B for right now. I feel like Upchuck is one of those ones to where he's useful, he's slow, but he can eat pretty much anything. I mean, literally, he used Upchuck to swallow that gigantic bomb or whatever. I think it was towards the end. It was the end of season 4. And he used him a couple times. He turned to Upchuck for the first time in the Xylene episode. Of course, I remember that part. But the first time he turned into Upchuck was in the Xylene episode. But I wish he would have used him more. But when they did use him, it was sporadically because I feel like he could just eat everything, which I guess I get that. But other than that, I mean, he really didn't do anything else. I mean, because he burped out slime and shit and stuff that he consumed, but pretty much if you can't solve the problem by eating, if that just won't solve the issue, then Upchuck is kind of useless. Unless you want to throw, like, I don't know, like, balls of, like, I don't fucking know, nasty shit. I don't know. I'm just talking. Oh boy, Upgrade. You know, I'm going to give Upgrade A as well. Upgrade was one that he used quite often. We saw a version of Upgrade that was, that of course was used, well, it was kind of like mimicked or whatever by oh God, what's his name? The Secret of the Omnitrix, like his son, or no, his father. Was his father or son? I can't remember, in the Destroy All Aliens. But in terms of what Ben was able to accomplish with Upgrade, I mean, Ben was able to do so much with that alien, and such a unique alien as well in terms of basically converting something and turning it into how Ben can control. I mean, I remember when Ben like converted that like train, and I think that was the episode where we had that gang of people or whatever guys, and there was like a girl I think involved as well. They were like on the road stealing vehicles and shit, and he like upgraded a train or something, and then he's upgraded, like I think he upgraded like a clock tower or something, or like a helicopter or something during that one episode with the guy who could control things like the watch or whatever at the time or whatever. Like there's a lot of stuff that Ben accomplished with Upgrade, but yeah, Upgrade. Good alien. Missed that alien. I wish we could have a version of Upgrade. Maybe we still are, because I think there's still some aliens I haven't seen yet in Alien Force. Anyway, so Way Big. I'm gonna go with B for this one. I feel like Way Big's a cool alien, but Way Big is just a gigantic alien that can stomp shit. I'm not sure what else the alien could really do. We haven't seen much. We didn't see much of Way Big. Cool design though. Got to get props to that design. But Way Big really hasn't done too much. I think pretty much I know where this is going. S tier. I think what kind of adds to why it's S tier, in my personal opinion, is because of how funny sometimes it is when he turns into. It's Wild Mud. That's the name, right? If it's wrong, I apologize. But literally, when he turns into it, he just messes with Gwen and shit. It just being ridiculous. I love it. I love it so much. God, I miss these fucking aliens, man. I miss these aliens. It's really irritating. Wildvine. I think it's Wildvine. We're gonna go with A on this one. This is an alien that came in late into the game and into the show. But you get my point. But interesting, a plant-based alien it was introduced in the bizarre mushroom like alien type invading shit with the camp or whatever. That was a bizarre episode. Like I was like, this is really happening right now. But I love the alien. I wish Ben would have used him more, but I mean, literally, there's so much he could have done that he didn't do with this alien. So I kind of wish he would have used him more. But unique design, a plant-based alien. I mean, that kind of shows how expansive it is in terms of the Ben 10 world with an alien like that. And Accelerate, I mean, no question. We got to go S tier. Accelerate was one of those ones that was very useful. Love the design. I mean, it's not like they're trying to base it off of like him just being a really fast running alien. He has like these little wheels at the bottom, like he's a car, like kind of like a car, scooter, whatever thing. And he's so freaking quick. And that one episode too, where he was on the drums during that one episode where he had like the weather system or whatever, the weather storm based off that machine. And so he was on the drums in that band he's playing. Like it was unique. And I love this alien. I love Accelerate. And I think I'm going to stick with this for right now. I think this is where I'm going to stick with on my list. What do you guys think of my ranking of the Ben 10 classic aliens? I'm curious to know your thoughts. As you can see here, I think this is a pretty good. How am I looking over here on the recording side? Yeah, let's make sure my list didn't like bleed over into my actual video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was definitely fun, and I'm curious to know where you would rank these aliens on your tier list if you actually made one. And if you actually do make one, send it to me on Twitter or something, or let me know in the comments below how you would rank them, or maybe how you would change your rankings and all that. But I think I'm going to stick with this. I think I'm going to stick with this on my list. And obviously, to me, as I was getting ready for the video, I didn't think any of these aliens would be like a D tier or E, F tier. I didn't think that wasn't going to happen, because these are, all great. Like, some are obviously better than others, but this is a really good variety of aliens. And so far we got some good variety of aliens in Alien Force. So maybe I'll do this for Alien Force once we get through that series. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm curious to know your thoughts about the overall my rankings. Like I said, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.